saying off camera, which is your movie has not been renamed.
Are you talking about Hesher?
Yeah, let's just go with that.
No, Hesher has not been renamed. I think that rumor started because of some like international sales convention somewhere a couple months ago. But you know, if they're trying to sell it to Japan, say, or something like that, yeah, they might put in their brochure the name Rebel or something like that. But no, the movie's called Hesher. I talked to Spencer about this. It's called Hesher.
Okay. I don't want to spend too much time on that, but when is the plan for it to come out? Your performance in that is just fantastic.
Thanks, man. They don't have a date, but it got bought by New Market Films at Sundance. New Market, coincidentally, is the company who, among other things, put out Memento. So check out that segue.
Right, let's jump into this. Obviously, I have a ridiculous amount of stuff I could ask you about. But I don't want to spoil the movie for anybody because this is going to run prior to release.
Okay.
So, but in the B-roll, behind-the-scenes footage, posted it last night, I saw the practical sets, you guys, that they built, these huge rigs that you worked on. And as someone mentioned in the press conference yesterday, the Fred Astaire-like dance. I heard today from Tom, you spent like 3 weeks in this harness. Please talk about how the physical... The what you had to go through on this movie.
Yeah, it was just about as physically challenging a thing as anything I've ever done in my life. It was also about as fun as anything I've ever done. But yeah, I had to train a lot and get into good shape. And the funny thing is, oftentimes, and I've been asked before to work out for a movie, but that's just to look a certain way. This wasn't to look a certain way at all. I was in a suit. I really had to go to the gym just so that I could pull this shit off. And I'm just happy they let me do it, because sometimes they won't let actors do certain things. But they let me do everything. It's all me except for one shot. My stunt double was named Andy, and he is in one shot for about a second. There's one thing they wouldn't let me do, but
of course I have to ask you, what was the one thing?
So there's a moment where they're fighting in the corridor, and then they sort of slide into this hotel room, and it happens in two shots. There's the shot from the corridor, and they slide and kick the door open, and then there's the shot in the hotel room. The shot from the corridor, when they slide and kick the door open, they wouldn't let me do that because they didn't want me to slam into a solid door. But once it cuts into the hotel room and we slide down that whole floor onto the other wall, that was me again. So he's really just it's just less than a second. But
was that something though for you?
I just want to say that it's not all me. It is him too, because I think a lot of stunt guys get sort of asked out of their credit because actors like to say, "Oh yeah, I do all my own stunts," and it's not always true.
Well, I was going to say, for you, doing so many of the other stunts, was it something where you really sat there and debated, man, I think I can do this, I want to do everything? Or was it sort of like, something, this is going to be a really tough shot, I'm okay with not doing this one?
No, I wasn't okay with not doing it. I fought a lot, and they were like, you have to not do this, there's insurance reasons, they're slamming into a very hard thing, and we can't let you do this. And I was like, you should let me do it anyway. I wanted to do it. I mean, look, if I trusted them a lot, and if they told me that there were other things that I couldn't do, then I would have backed down, of course. But I told them also, look, I want to do as much as I can, as much as you'll let me, and I'll work really hard, and I won't, complain about how the harness is pinching my balls.
Yeah,
and it's really more just to the side of your balls. If you place your balls right, you have to place them.
Right. These are things I've not had to do. I'm happy that I'm the interview, the guy asking the questions. Yeah. I'm definitely curious. How did you first find out that Chris was interested in having you in the movie?
I was just asked to go have a meeting with him.
Now, for you, I'm assuming huge fan of his work. When you get that call, what's the first thing going through your brain?
Well, the first thing is, what's the movie? What's the project? What's the character? Because I don't, it's not a normal thing to have a meeting with somebody not knowing anything about what you're meeting about. There are such things as general meetings, but this wasn't that. I knew it was for a project, but I wasn't, I didn't know anything about it. So I just guessed, really, and said, well, fuck, if I'm going to meet Christopher fucking Nolan, I'll look sharp. And so I dressed up in a suit and tie and was like, nice to meet you. And we had a cool conversation about movies and a lot of different things, violence in movies. Talked about Clockwork Orange, I remember, how to, responsibly make violent, brutal movies that, serve a story and mean something, as opposed to just gratuitously sort of, brutality smut, I guess. And talked about a lot of other things. But I didn't know anything about the movie at the time, and it was after that meeting, I guess, he wanted to show me the script. So at that point, I went and read it, and I was just kind of blown away and really felt fortunate that he would want to hire me.
Well, a lot of the people I've spoken to, the other actors, have said that the first reading, they were like, and let's start again on page 1. Was that the way it was for you, or could you talk about that reaction the first time you were reading the script?
Well, I read scripts really slowly and carefully, and I also only had one chance to read it. They didn't send it to me. I had to go into an office and read it while Jordan Goldberg, Chris's, I forget if they call him associate producer or co-producer or what, but Jordan was outside, not in any sort of like bad way, but just like I wasn't going to get to keep the script. So I sat there for, 4 or 5 hours reading it. And, it all makes sense. The thing is that the story is so well thought through that normally when you read a movie, especially of this scale, there's somewhere in there's a hole in the logic, or, something doesn't quite make sense. And there weren't any of those. If you were careful enough and read it all the way through, you could track where, what was happening where. It was a lot to keep in mind at once, but it all had been very clearly thought through so well. And, what was really remarkable was having seen the movie, because on a script, it takes, it can take quite a bit of effort to read something and understand it on that level. But that's because the script is not for audiences. The script is, a production document. The movie is what the script was always leading to, and it's meant to be a visually told story, not a literally told story. And so it was remarkable to see the movie and be like, oh wow, these concepts and ideas that I had to really put some effort into figuring out and following when I was reading it are just totally clear and obvious and just visceral when you see it visually. And does the movie give you a bit to think about? Yeah, it does. I mean, you can also just enjoy it on a really surface level as a badass action flick.
I was having this conversation with someone else.
Yeah.
You can go into you can get whatever you want out of the film.
Yeah.
There's so many levels to it.
Well, it's like The Dark Knight, if you want to just watch it as a badass Batman movie, you can, and it is. But if you want to think about, some of the ethics that it, implies, some of the questions, about good and evil, and there's a lot to think and talk about with The Dark Knight. And the same with Inception. If you want to think about what this is saying about reality and illusion and dreams and the human mind, and you can. There's a lot to go into. Or you can just, dig the badass fights.
I have under a minute left, and I want to get through 3 things, and I'm going to bullet through these.
Okay,
things.
real quick.
A, are you looking forward to going back to the G.I. Joe universe? I'm one of the few that had a really fun time with that film.
Oh yeah, man, that film is really fun. I don't know if it's happening or what, but yeah.
Are you hoping that the mask would be more like the cartoon?
Oh, that'll be a whole process, and I don't know.
Okay, the next question is: there's rumors that you're going to be possibly in Looper. Is that true? Not true?
Oh yeah, Looper's happening. Yeah.
So can you give fans an update where the project is?
Yeah. Well, Ryan Johnson, who wrote and directed Brick and Brothers Bloom, this is his third movie, and he's been talking to me about it for years, actually, because the guy, it's finally happening, and Bruce Willis is going to be in it, and it's a really, really great movie. It's a time travel story.
Oh, I'm well aware on this project. Yeah. I'm totally paying attention. Do you know when you're shooting?
The dates aren't nailed down, but I think we're shooting early next year right now. Is the plan. I'm so anxiously awaiting that film. And my last thing is, you recently wrapped on what was called for a while "I'm with Cancer." Right.
Does it have a name yet?
No, it doesn't have a name right now. It's the Untitled Cancer Comedy, which I think is kind of a funny name. But that movie was a pleasure, and Seth and Evan, who wrote Superbad and Pineapple Express and lots of other stuff, they have a friend, Will Reiser, that they've been friends with since they worked together as comedy writers on the Ali G show, and Will had cancer and survived it, and they got him to write a screenplay about it, and of course when it comes from that posse of dudes, it's gonna be funny. and it was.
I'm a huge fan of Jonathan Levine. I think The Whackness is an amazing film.
Yeah, Levine's dope.
He is really into music. What was he like with you and I know I got to wrap, but what was he like with you with music? Did he give you like a mixtape? Was he very...
Yeah. He did give me a mixtape. I think they're still figuring out what exactly the music's going to be in this movie. But yeah, for sure. He did give me a mixtape, and it's totally different than the music that's on The Whackness. His musical taste goes beyond hip hop.
I would imagine. I have to wrap it through. They're going to kill me. I want to thank you so much. Congratulations on the movie.
Thank you.